think that for me, like my thinking has just what's the word, like gotten more clear over the years in terms of,
but the question was what belief?
in terms of what I want. That's what I'm getting to, is like what belief that I have at the start of the year that changed. I guess the belief is just every time that you think that you're thinking in abundance mode, it goes back to that growth question. Life always shows you that there's bigger ways to think in abundance, because every time that I think I'm thinking in abundance, life kind of shows me you're thinking about there's in a scarcity mindset. So I think that's the only belief that changed. Is like there's certain things that I think I'm thinking about in abundance, but I discover that I actually am not, if that makes sense. And maybe that goes back to more money, because I think for money, that's like a huge one for everybody, where every time you make a little bit of money, I feel like, at least for me, because I'm an entrepreneur, I get into this abundance mindset of like, oh, there's more money out there, like you can always make more money. But as soon as you come across a challenge, I feel like those beliefs kind of, for me specifically, come into my head in terms of like you have to hold on to your money, and that's like a belief that I've always struggled with money. So I think going back to the question, the only belief that's changed around money is just relearning information. Because I think for you, like you said that you haven't changed your thinking, but I think for me, sometimes it's so easy or so natural to go back to like your old thinking or your old habits, and you kind of have to like keep refreshing your mind every day and keep relearning stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should always do that.
Yeah. But what do you think didn't go as planned this year? Or was there anything that didn't go as planned?
I would say for me, it's probably just losing that third retainer. Because I lost a third retainer twice this year. So at 2 points in the time that happened this year, I lost my third retainer.
But why do you think of it as a loss?
Because I don't have them now. I didn't keep them.
But why do you view them as a loss instead as an opportunity to learn to get another?
It can be both.
Okay. I think for me, what didn't go as planned is, I kind of already talked about it in another episode, where I was and I don't want to use the word supposed to, but I really thought I was going to be a little bit more ahead with my money in terms of like how much money I wanted to have saved up. And I think that one thing that didn't go as planned is that it goes back to that first question. What surprised me the most this year is that there's always going to be room to grow, because even when you feel like you've mastered things in the past, like life will show you that you haven't. And for example, one of the things is that I procrastinate in terms of like getting things done, especially with my car. And you know that I kind of like put that off. And then that kind of bit me in the butt, because then I had to get my car fixed, and like so a couple of things fell on top of each other simply because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to take care of it beforehand. So I think going back to the question, one thing that didn't go as planned was just being more smart with my money. But that's also because of things that I was already doing in my everyday life, such as procrastination. And it's something so small, but it shows up in other places in your life. But what's one decision that you think you're really proud of this year? Or what's one thing you're proud of?
Just making sure I'm keeping up with my clients' wants, needs, and expectations. And I've always been good at that, but this is the highest level that I've had to do it at. So just being able to maintain that and be on like in front of it too. On top of that, not only am I maintaining, but I'm in front of it. Because this year I was able to see that I can have 3 retainers and still have a bunch of time to myself. So it's like I've already done it, now I just got to keep it. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud of, because I was able to have all that together and still be able to maintain.
No, that's good. I was going to say, if you guys are watching this, you guys should turn this into an exercise and write this down too. But I think one thing that I'm really proud of, I mean, there's so many things, and I feel like I was just talking to you about this a couple of days ago, where I feel like as entrepreneurs and just people that always want to see themselves grow and succeed, we're kind of always going after more and more and more. And so we don't really ever get a chance to sit down and say we're proud of ourselves. So I think one thing that I'm really proud of myself this year is failing. I think failing taught me so much. And there's like little things that I feel like I've personally failed in, but it just made me realize my blind spots and where I could be stronger, where I could pour more effort in. But I think another thing that I'm really proud of is, yeah, like you said, just staying on top of my current clients and learning how to get better with my time, because my time management has always been an issue with, like, for me. And like you said, I think that once you put yourself into those situations where you kind of have no other choice, you're going to get better, at least for me. And so that's just one thing I'm really proud of, is I'm really proud of failing. I'm really proud of putting myself in uncomfortable situations, even when I didn't know how it was going to work out. And I'm just really proud of myself for not giving up. And I hope you guys are really proud of yourself for not giving up, because it's a lot. Life is a lot sometimes, especially when you're a mom, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a student. There's so many things on your plate. And sometimes it just feels like you're never doing enough. So just be proud of yourself for surviving another day.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm proud of myself that we survived this far, especially in Arizona. Remember when, something that we always do, and maybe we should talk about this, is that we always kind of look back at our accomplishments and see where we started. How do you think that's helped us get to where we are?
Just reflection, and I would say just you kind of like look back at the progression, and then you're like more grateful, because like the stuff that you're doing now is the stuff that you always like wish for and work hard for. So just being able to look back and be like, damn, like this is the build up to where we're at now, especially if you're a successful business owner or actually achieving your goals. Like, I understand that if you like stuck in the same spot and stuff like that, you're probably miserable as hell, but that ain't me. So I can't relate to that, because I work hard every single day to just compound all my wins together. So
Yeah. What was the question?
just
Oh, no, I
back.
think it's just important, because like you said, it does put you in that state of gratefulness, and going back to what we said, it's like you kind of have to make time every single day or every single week to slow down and see how far you've come. So one, you can be proud of what you're doing and be proud of yourself, but two, also have that gratitude of how far you've come. I saw this TikTok the other day, and the TikTok was saying something along the lines like, I may not have reached every single goal that I wanted to this year, but I'm 3 times ahead of where I was 3 years ago. And that's so true, because something that I even told you a couple days ago is I think like it's almost human nature that at the beginning of the year, or most human beings, we kind of set goals, and we set way too many goals, and then by a month later, we kind of forgot about them. And so that's something that we talked about, where it's okay to go slower, or it's okay to just set more realistic goals. And what I mean by realistic is do something tangible, because that's what you're always telling me. Like, for example, if I send 1 proposal, let's just say last month, then my goal should be how to send 2 this month. And I think sometimes with social media, we kind of just set unrealistic goals based on where we're actually at. But
no, that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think, for 2025, what was my goals? And I think my biggest goals was having multiple retainers, family vacation. And I think that was it. It was just 2 things, and we did multiple shit. I had Maddie out here twice. We went to San Diego. Like, it was multiple family vacations, and I had multiple retainers this year. So next year, like for 2026, my goal is again, it's probably only 3 goals. It's family vacation, which we got plenty of those planned out. But if we can go on any of them, that would be major. Get my G-Wagon and then have 3 retainers. Like, it's super simple, but those 3 goals are so big. Like, it's gonna take a lot just to do those single 3 ones. So it's like it's only 3, but they're super big, and I know I gotta put in a lot of work to achieve those goals.
yeah, no, I like that. And also saying them out loud, because I'm glad that you're always saying them out loud, because it makes it more real. That's a conversation that I was having with a friend today, where she put something on her vision board, and it became true because she was able to visualize it. So I think that sometimes we don't say things out loud because we don't think that they're going to become true. And so even in entrepreneurship, that's something that we talk about a lot, is that most people think that the hardest part is posting content, shooting content, getting the clients, making the sales. And don't get me wrong, all of those things still
Are hard.
require work and
Yeah.
are a skill. But I think the hardest part is getting yourself out of that mindset when it does get hard.